want to have a cookie first?
Go ahead and get it and then shoot.
Okay. So we're starting now?
Yep.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Game Tasting. And here I am again with my buddy over there, Jay.
Yep. Still here.
Still here. Still
Yep,
Jay.
Still alive.
Yeah, and just we got another game for you today. Just us two. We've had a few guests. Yeah, and today we're kicking off the month of October.
And I'm not too big a fan of the games that we're playing this month, just because in the spirit of the holidays, we decided that we're gonna be playing spooky games.
A couple spooky games. One of them being, it's not today's episode. It's coming up next. But one of them is a game that I wanted to play with you for a while. But you always tell me that you're not scared about playing it. But for some reason, there's always something that gets in the way. But yeah, so this next couple of episodes should be a fun one.
I'm not scared.
You're not scared? Are
I'm
you sure?
not that scared.
You sure?
Anyways, first things first. How's your mom?
How's your mom? Still talking to her?
I hope so.
On the daily, asking her how her day is?
I hope so.
I hope so.
You're talking to your mom as much as you can.
Yeah. And you know what? And your dad.
And your dad.
Both of them.
Both
of them.
at the same time.
At the same time, preferably.
So you don't have to do two calls. Save yourself the time. Just be like, hey,
yes.
is dad there?
Yeah.
Hey, dad.
He'll call me. No, I don't want to call. Okay. So yeah, today we're talking about a game called Content Warning.
I keep thinking it's Content Cop. No, Content Cop is like the old iDubbbz thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Content Warning.
Content Warning.
Spooky.
Yeah, spooky. There's something. It's so crazy how certain things scare different people, because this game is very similar to actually another game that is out there called Lethal Company in the sense of how it's played. I had no problem playing this one. Cannot touch that other game, Lethal Company. Too scary. This one was fine, but this one spooked you a little bit.
I'm also, like I said, I'm not like too big on spooky games now.
Right.
When I was younger, I played through Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I played through the second one. I played through Dead Space 1 and 2. I played Silent Hill. Like, dude,
So you got more scared as you went.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Usually it's the opposite.
The older I got, the more spooked I got.
See, with me, I honestly, I've just never been able to really do spooky games. Horror movies,
I love
no problem. Yeah, we both love horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been able to actually play spooky games for the most part.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, I'm just not a fan of it.
The fact that you played Dead Space, you said?
Yeah, 1 and 2.
1 and 2, I could not touch it. I watched my brother play it. I was able to watch someone play it from afar.
The sound design that they did
too
for
scary.
that, like, I think that's something horror games, we'll cover that in a bit.
Yes, yeah.
So-
That's one of the most important things, I would say, actually.
Yeah, trying to think. Anything else you want to add to what this game is so I can get a cookie? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I'll give a little rundown while you got yourself a little comfort cookie there. So Content Warning is a game. It's a multiplayer game, co-op, where the whole premise is you're supposed to be going down into this like kind of dark, gloomy place. That's I can't remember where I saw it, but it's called the Old World, that was kind of intriguing to me. But anyway, you go down in like this device to this like kind of dark, spooky, dismal shit place, and you try to record something spooky. That's all the game tells you.
I want to say too. Mm-hmm. So when you boot up this game, it does not look like a horror game off the rip.
No, yeah, it looks almost kind of goofy.
Yeah.
It's
like joyous almost,
Yeah,
because it's like very bright colors. The Pantone colors are beautiful.
Yeah, and like your own characters, you design your face, which the face is really just kind of like an emote that you would do with the keyboard. So like some people do like the XD, or just a smiley face and something. So it's
nose guy.
Yeah, nose guy. So it's like it all is very charming and looks like very like kid friendly almost, and it's all bright and sunny and colorful in the house and all that.
So, little story on that. Mm-hmm. So the first time I played this game was actually not just for this episode, but um, my household decided that
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to play it. So my kids, so Rye, Jane, my wife, and my brother Christian, they were like, "Oh yeah, we should all play it." They showed me I looked at what the game was from standing behind them. And I
Right.
was like, "Oh, like yeah, this doesn't look bad. This looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you guys are just gonna record videos of like silly stuff, right?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
to an extent, it's true.
Yeah, yeah.
But they didn't show me the part where they go to the old world.
Oh, you only saw
Oh
when
no!
they were
I
up
only
at the
saw
house.
the up in the house, like jumping down like
Yeah,
the rafters.
the drone
Yeah.
dropping boxes
It's
on
cute.
people's heads.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I think I can rock that.
Okay.
And then the first time we played it, I was like, oh, what the
Oh,
fuck is this?
no.
The shift in
Mhm.
color,
Yeah.
which we'll cover, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my god, they baited me.
You got
They
baited. You got jebaited.
I got you baited. So, all right, I want to ask you. Do you know anything about the game studio, the developers who released it? I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, so I did a little bit of research. And so
Hmm.
the thing is that the actual developer, there's not like a company that was the official developer. You know, it's not like, Bungie or any of those big
Okay.
developers that like pair up with a publisher. This was literally made by 5 dudes in Sweden, I believe. Names are, and I apologize if I butcher these, but they're Wilhelm Nyland, Zorro Svardendal, Eric Skog, Philip Wester, and Petter Henriksen.
For the dog, that just sounds like you're mentioning characters from Thor.
Yeah. Or from Skyrim or something.
Yeah.
They're very Nordic sounding names.
It's kind of badass.
But yeah, just 5 dudes made this. And,
Is this the first game that they've made?
that's a good, like these specific guys?
Yes.
I'm not sure actually. That I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they did some like very small stuff before this.
Oh, like for school?
Yeah, or something like that. But like as far as what I could see, this was their first like blow up
Big.
game. And it really is kind of one of those games that went viral because it was published by a company called Landfall Publishing. And Landfall Publishing, they do a lot of games that like, they're not huge games, but people probably heard of them. Like there's Cluster Truck. I mentioned that.
Yup.
Yeah,
I
Cluster
played
Truck.
Cluster Truck.
The old, what was it called? Total Accurate Battlegrounds.
Yeah, Tabs.
Yeah, Tabs.
So-
They do games that like people know about, but they're not like these crazy big games.
Yeah.
And apparently, this publisher has a tradition of releasing a game on April Fool's Day.
So is this related at all to Supermarket Sim?
Not that I saw. No, Supermarket Sim is different.
It's just
publisher.
coincidence that they both released on April 1st, right?
I thought Crab Champions.
Crab
was the-
Champions,
Yeah, Crab
not
Champions
Supermarket
released on
Sim.
April 1st also. Again, no relation though. Different. A lot of people like to do the April 1st thing, it turns out.
Okay.
But apparently Landfall Publishing has a tradition of releasing a game on April Fool's Day, and Content Warning was one of them.
Is it this year?
Yeah, this past year, 2024. And what's crazy, what blew my mind is like, one, it's just 5 dudes, right?
Yes.
Not only is it just 5 dudes, they did it from the span of February to April of that same year. With
Oh.
most of the development time being just over the course of 1 month
That's
during
insane.
like this internal game jam they did in Seoul, South Korea.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 dudes, no major studio help.
No. Yeah.
Just 5
The
homies.
publisher did the publishing work, but as far as like the development, it was just these 5 dudes.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's
and
really
mainly
incredible.
over the course of just a month, and they cranked
On
this.
what seemed like a hackathon.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, dude, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And what really helped is they released on April Fool's Day, but also during the first 24 hours of the release, the game was free, and then after that they started charging, and so. Because the publisher had like a little bit of background in games, like people are like, they have a good track record for the most part. People see, oh, here's this free game from this like pretty accurate or pretty steady publisher. Here's a game for free. Everyone can just jump on it and it blows up. It's like sort of a viral hit.
Dude, so the way that I want to explain this game in a way that was explained to me.
Okay.
So you guys are playing as a group of 4
Yes.
and you're trying to go viral.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it was explained to me not as something that was scary. And like I said, like I was baited in. So they were like, yeah, the goal is to make viral clips. So in this game, you hold a camera.
Yep, a little camcorder.
And you record gameplay through that camera.
Yeah.
So here is some footage of the gameplay from the camera that we have.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really quick.
That's good.
There you go. Yeah.
So that is shot in game, and you're able to save those clips that you record from your video camera in game, and you're able to view it yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
There is space. I'll talk, I guess, about it over the game, but that's how it was described to me. The goal is to make a viral hit because you are a YouTuber.
Sort of your own Blair Witch project.
Yes,
like found footage,
but
kind of
YouTube.
Stuff. But YouTube, yeah, right, because this is the modern day.
It's modern day. If not YouTube, maybe Twitch, right?
Yeah, or something.
Not Kick.
Not Kick. Yeah, we're not trying to break any laws. Yeah, and that's pretty much all the story we're given, really. Like the game kind of, you just start off, you're in your room in your house, and you're in your weird little like space suit with your little emote face. And the objective just says, go down and shoot something spooky. It literally says shoot something spooky.
Really?
Or record something spooky.
Oh wow!
It literally that's the objective.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah. That's all the information you're really given, and so you go, hopefully with your friends. Because I don't actually. Can you even play this solo?
I don't know.
I actually don't even know if you can play it solo.
That would be kind of lame.
It would be kind of lame.
Hey, if you have no friends, it's cool. Like, go ahead and play
There's a
solo.
lot of other games out there for solo play. But that's all you're given, and so you're just boop, 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 boop. You go into what was it called? The bell?
I don't know, bro. I was scared.
You were scared. Yeah, you were having.
Oh, there's
clips. And we'll put something out to
right
show
here.
to show.
Oh shit!
Your spooked moments.
Here's some. There. You saw that little clip? Yeah. Imagine that, but for every fucking game. Do me a favor, Dorian, before we continue. Check to see that phone is recording and it's all good.
That one? Okay.
Yeah. I'm asking just because my wife was... Yeah. Go check the other ones too. I'm doing a song and dance right here. Try not to hit anything because the positioning is good. But yes. So with this game is very young. It's less than a year old. Produced by 5 homies. And the game is very good, and it did go viral.
Yeah, it's sort of really meta how that worked, right? It's like the game itself is
about
going viral, and the game went viral. That's really cool. It's really cool.
Do you know who the YouTuber is that kind of made it big?
Oh, I don't know if there was like a single person that made it big, because like I said, it was a free game. It was by a publisher that like had a sort of cult following. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was just like multiple content creators
that just jumped on it
and like helped spread it.
Because it was, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it, even as someone who wasn't spooky-rific.
Yeah. It's both spooky and hilarious because of
the recording factor.
Recording factor and just the shenanigans that happen, and also the creatures that you find down there are sort of strange.
So our episode on Once Human, we mentioned that there was SCPs or SCPs. This game has SCPs.
Kind of, yeah. Actually, in a really weird way. There are some really weird creatures that you find.
Gun guy.
Honestly, probably the least weird out of all the ones that I've seen is that little turret dude you're talking about. Yeah, it's like this little robot with like a smiley face on it, and it just kind of like patrols around, and then if it sees you, it goes like it gets mad
and it
starts shooting at you. But I'm thinking of like the
blowfish.
The tall guy with like the whisks for a head. Whisk man. Yeah, there's like this tall, like kind of slender looking thing, but its head is
chases
just
you. It's a whisk.
Yeah, and it charges.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the gameplay a little bit.
Yes. So it has a pretty like easy to follow gameplay loop. Oh, yeah? Right. So you start the game. It gives you some like basic tools to start with. Like everyone gets a flashlight.
3 people get a flashlight.
Three people get a flashlight, and then one person gets the camera. And that's pretty much all you have. on the first go.
On the first night, yeah.
On the first night. So you go down, and so on top of the objective to just shoot something spooky, it also lets you know that you have 3 days to get a certain number of followers.
Views.
Or views, right?
Yeah.
And so you have 3 days to go and get like, I think it was like
3,000
views.
days.
So first day, all you have is those flashlights and a camcorder. You go down, you explore, and because that's the other thing, where it puts you is random.
Yeah.
Because we
ran it a couple times.
We failed to get 3,000 views the first time, and so it's sort of like a game over. And so when we started again, when we went down the first time, totally different area that we started.
Who fault was that though?
Gee, I wonder whose it was. We'll talk about that in a moment.
But yeah, so as the general gameplay loop is you go down there, you record footage, the views get you money.
Yes.
So right. you're an AdSense partner already.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And you don't need to go through the whole YouTube partner thing.
You don't need to go YouTube partner program for some reason.
That you just get money.
You just get
right
money.
Away.
And so with that money, you're able to buy equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to buy a microphone, a boom mic, a clapper, and you could do a lot of things to just spice up your content creation within the game.
Yes. Also tools that like make the job easier. I didn't look at all the tools, but like, for example, I think you might be able to get like a better flashlight or something. Yeah. So things that like also help you last longer down there. Because that's the thing also is when you go down there, one, you only have so much recording space.
That's another one.
But two, you also have like air supply. Because you can't just stay down there for however long. Remember, there's the meter in like the bottom left.
That's fucking air.
Yeah. You can't just chill down there forever. You have to like get in, get as much footage as you can, and then get out before your air supply runs out. And so I'd be willing to bet that one of the things you could buy with money is like more air time or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I was oblivious. You
just wanted to get out of there.
I did. I was locked the fuck in, dude. So as far as the gameplay goes, one of the things that I really enjoy was the video. I love the content creation.
Yes.
I love, like, me personally, one thing I enjoy is doing like an intro and like a little outro of the video. So before we start shooting spooky, I'm over here introducing.
Yeah, that's right.
Be like, hey, welcome back to like, you know, like how we do for the show.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you're trying to be professional about it.
Yeah. And I'm trying to create like an intro and an outro.
Yeah.
But you have such limited amount of memory or like camera space that it's like you need to like just you get your moves. Like you're like a wrestler for like, you know, you're starting out. Just get your moves in, get out.
Yeah, it almost feels like you have like 100% battery, right? It almost feels like 1% is 1 second worth of shooting. It goes down kind of fast. It's fast. Yeah.
It goes fast. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because when you do get the video, you go back to the real world, and then you are able to watch that clip with your friends on a TV in the game. Yeah. And while you guys are watching it, it is technically it has been uploaded to wherever. Spooktube. Yeah. And there's commenters. Like it's like a Twitch stream almost.
Yeah. You see you get to see the comments kind of coming in as the video's going, and they'll say things like, because like one aspect of the game is there's in-game mics and voice
spatial. So it's like the when you're recording it within the game, it's spatial audio. So like you're only able to hear what's around you.
Yeah. And like there was one time where you and Jane got split up from me and Chris, and like I could hear Chris because we were together, but I could not hear you and Jane, and we were like trying to find you at everything. But so because of that, like one of the commenters, a lot of time, if you were talking, they'd be like, "Oh, always something profound to say from Signet or whatever your in-game name was."
Fried chicken.
Yeah. Oh, fried chicken always got something to say. Or something
I like the one where it's like, "Oh, he's loud again."
Yeah, he's really loud. And then like if one of us died, I saw one of the comments just like, "I think he just died."
It's good. It's a funny game.
Yeah, it blends spooks with humor very well.
Yes. And I love the idea that this game came out because they just thought of it 24 hours in a hackathon. Like the idea that they did this because it's like no one's made a game where you're recording within the game.
Yes, yeah. I guess not true, actually.
What game?
Outlast.
I don't know.
Which, although, so even that, actually, I think technically you might be right. Because in the game Outlast, you do use a camcorder, but you're not really recording anything. You can't, you don't get to like watch it back later. This is the first time where I've seen you get to record with a camcorder in the game and then watch literally what happens on the camcorder back as part of the game.
And another thing, so you're using the camcorder, right? And it matters how you're holding it.
Yes.
So there's a way Dorian found out that there's a aim button because like prior to that, when he was cameraman, it was fucking sloppy, amateur hour.
Yeah, like honestly,
it's like shaking and he's missing shit.
It's like a first-person shooter. You know how like when you're not aiming down sights, it's just kind of at the hip level.
Yeah, when you ADS.
I did not realize that was a thing with the camera, so I'm literally just trying to like pivot my body to capture things before I realized you could aim.
You gotta ADS the camera.
Yeah.
And it's really, I don't know, I enjoyed it. Do you have anything to say about the gameplay?
I love games with like a really simple but fun gameplay loop, which this one has. Is like go down, shoot, make money, get gear to go shoot better things, and then kind of just use that momentum to get more and more views and everything like that. I really like good simple gameplay like that. But yeah, I think I'd agree with you. Just the way the camcorder works is so good and so funny. We've gotten so many
funny moments. Let me give you guys one that like I was fucking sent. Was what is it? So I think it was Dorian as a cameraman, and then Jane holding a mic, and she's doing fucking interviews on the Spookies. Who was it that she was interviewing?
We found just a skull.
Oh yeah,
it was a skull that we found.
It was a skull, and the skull is not alive.
Yeah, it's just a skull. Just a skull.
And she goes up to it and goes like, "What is it?"
She's like, "Yeah." She holds the mic. I was like, "When did you first decide to be a skull?"
I'll if I can find that clip.
So why did you decide to become a spy?
Like 3-4 second bit, and it's like I was dying.
What makes it so much funnier is like it's so funny, right? Like you're interviewing a skull, right? That's funny enough as it is. But that was the point in the game where like we were kind of decked out. Like she had the mic, I had the boom,
yeah,
and stuff. And so like it's got like this weird like we've got this professional setup, and we're fucking talking to a skull.
I had a clapper. I was the
That's
clapper.
Right, yeah, you're the clapper.
I was the clapping demon. On set, everybody quiet. I was a demon on that.
Yeah, and that was funny because I think we're literally interviewing the skull, if I remember correctly, and you might hear at the very end of where we cut the recording of the skull, I think you might hear me saying like, I think there's something here. And then it cuts to just chaos of us running from something, I think.
It's good.
It's so funny. Yeah. So yeah. Honestly, there's not much more to say about the gameplay. It's a pretty simple game with simple mechanics, but it gives so much room for the craziest shenanigans to happen.
You can shenanigan.
And so yeah, there's really not much more to cover.
How about the design? So I'm curious on the design.
The design. So like we kind of already touched on it a little bit with like how weirdly jarring like the color scheme and the art style is when you first start the game versus when you go down. Like we said, it's very colorful.
Pastel.
Yeah, pastel
Pantones.
Colors.
Like,
smiley face. Like there's these cozy beds for all the players to sleep
so
in. Like
funny.
This nice, cozy house. It's like nice and green with trees outside.
And then as soon as you go to the old world, boom. It's like a switch kicks in. The game is now very rough looking. It's in black and white.
Yes. Like I think except for us, the players.
And sometimes, so like the gun guy, you could see the red, right?
True.
So there's things that you're not able, is colored, but for majority of the space you're playing within of the old world, it is very black and white, and it's very hard to discern what's what's part of like the game texture, like the walls and shit, to like
it almost the color scheme. It almost looks like it's sketched. You know what I mean?
Yes, because there's like draw lines.
Gray, there's gray with white, and like almost like they use like charcoal to kind of color it. Almost, it's very stark difference from
when you start.
Above.
Yeah, from when you start. And it's funny because as soon as you're done recording, let's say you survive, now you go back up, and it's totally different. It's like now you're back to like.
It gives you that sense of being safe again when you're in the color world and everything.
It's like you go back and like shit's sweet.
And so like that color scheme helps with the spooky environment, right? Because it's very dark down there. There's no light. Everything's black and white for the most part. And then that kind of goes into also like probably, I don't know. When it comes to horror, anything, movies, games, what would you say is more important, visuals or sound? Because sound is so important.
To me, it's sound.
Yeah.
So if a game is designed with an incredible soundstage in mind, with the audio being spatial, they can play that as a part of the game where you're hearing shit on your left side and you're not hearing anything from the right. You're hearing some faint noise from the back, from your back, but you can't tell what it is. You don't know if it's one of the members just dilly-dallying,
Yeah.
And I think that sound is so important for achieving a result that actually scares people.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, some parts of this game spook me as far because of the sound is a lot.
Yeah, because there would be times where we're just walking along, we haven't encountered anything yet, and you hear like creaks like off, and you're like, is that actually something, or is that just like ambient noise?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like where is it? It's so dark you can't see like that far ahead.
Yep.
Also, like our own footsteps.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, is that us, or is there something following us?
You can hear it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that this group nailed is the sound design. Jeez, like, and I think we've raved about this in other games.
Once Human
by itself was like, the soundstage is fucking nuts because you can hear the skittering from like miles away, and you're just like, oh fuck, I'm not supposed to be here.
There's a weird exploding spider somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And for games like this where it's much more intimate and it's less not open world, but it's less MMO.
Yeah.
Sound is so important.
Yeah.
Because your space that you're playing in, the field is so small. That like to take advantage of everything you have, you need to pretty much maximize that space, right?
You're right.
Oh man, fuck, dude! Like the blowfish guy scared me.
That's the guy that would just go like, poof, like
the blowfish guy,
expand, and then knock people flying.
Yeah, knock people flying.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because it's in the moment when it chased me, I was fucking spooked, right? So I'm like, oh fuck no. But then, like, watching it again, I'm like, dang, I was scared of that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, watching it from afar, it's like, that's no problem. But, like, when it's actually happening to you, you're like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Get the fuck out of here.
What is it?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's me.
Like, we got chased around by, like, a snail guy a bit. And I'm like, I don't even know what that guy does. He's a snail
guy. I remember I'm like, I jumped across him.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, juked. The fuck out of my way.
Like, I'm like, is he even dangerous? I want to assume he's dangerous.
I'm assuming that,
but like, I don't know. He's just kind of lumbering toward you at a snail's pace.
Not worth the risk to find out.
I don't want to find out.
Is there anything in the art or the sound design that kind of stood out to you?
So that stood out. Well, I mean, I just liked the art. Like we said, it like that kind of sketched look. It's weird. It gives you almost it makes you feel more, because like us ourselves, like our bodies in the game, like we said, like we're in like these weird space suits and everything, and we got like our little emo faces that are colored, like, mine would be blue, yours would be yellow or whatever.
Well, why am I yellow?
I got nothing. You got me. But like it's colored differently with kind of pastel colors, like you said. And so when you go down into this world, that's like got like that kind of sketched out black and white. I almost feels like that lends itself to the, I don't belong here. I'm a completely different art style, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I never looked at it that way.
It's I literally just thought of that right now. But like, it's kind of like this weird, I wonder if that was on purpose.
It has to be.
You know?
It has to be by design.
Like, okay, yeah, you're from the above world. This is the old world. Like,
these are the untouchables.
You don't belong here. Because even the monsters, even like the snail guy, except for the turrets, like the snail guy, the whisk head guy, even them they almost look like they're sketches that like kind of jumped out of some artist's sketchbook because they're like white and grainy looking kind of things.
It's like a Junji Ito.
Yeah, actually, great example.
Yeah.
So that kind of stands out to me, like that juxtaposition between like the you know, and that makes me wonder. So, like I said, there wasn't much story, right? It just kind of gives you your objective.
Yep.
And like, the developers themselves, I don't know if we didn't get too far because like we kept failing, but I wonder if there's supposed to be things that you eventually discover that kind of explain more,
put even more depth
about this world. And that's something like I was when I was kind of researching the developers and everything, I was like, you know, kind of like, what's some of like the lore maybe that we didn't really run into.
Was there any lore? No, right?
Not official. But the thing is, there's a lot of theory crafting going on.
That's cool.
Yeah, which like that's always cool when you can create a world that like you don't even have to write for. You can just let the fans do it for you almost.
That's cool.
Because when I was just Googling for it, there's like a ton of Reddit threads like theory craft for content warning. We need more theory crafting, all this stuff. Talking about like, what could it mean that there's like this whisk head? What does that mean? Are they people that like became this? We don't know. And so that's some interesting.
That's cool.
Stuff, yeah. What about you? What any?
So what stood out to me was the stark difference.
Yeah.
Like the stark difference between the overworld and the old world, right?
Yeah.
Like to me that was
just the name, the fact that it's called the old world.
The old world.
Like, is it talking about like the world that we live in right now? Like that's what it becomes or something? I don't know. You have to play to find out, or maybe I don't know.
One thing I will say though is this game, if you are playing solo dolo, is not gonna be fun.
Yeah, because you're.
I think so with two people it was okay. Me and my wife we played it, and I think she just gets a kick out of me fucking being scared and like yelling and shit.
I mean, I got a kick out
and
of it.
It was okay. It was good. I enjoyed myself, but. If you're playing solo, I don't know if this will be like a game for you.
Yeah, because you also run the risk of like if you die, that's it. Because like it happened to us a few times.
Oh, that's right.
There was one time where Jane, I think, was the camera holder going like originally. She got killed.
Yep.
And I had to pick up the camera and like record.
Yeah. So that's another thing is like if you don't come back to the overworld with the camera, your day was wasted.
Yeah.
There was no footage, no nothing, no. So you're not getting no views.
Which reminds me, I said I was going to come back to this. Why we didn't make the 3,000 view goal on the first try.
On the first 3, yeah.
Literally first day we go down there. And granted, like this is literally my first time playing the game. And so I don't know I don't know how everything works that well and stuff. I don't know what to expect. And so we go down, we're the 4 of us. And where it puts us is like almost kind of like a mine shaft or something because there's like a bunch of like wooden like paths that are like up on stilts and stuff.
Yep.
And we run into something. I don't even know what it was because I think I panicked and I backed up and I fell off. And this is where I got separated from everyone. I fell so far. I don't know how I didn't die.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't die. I fell so far.
You don't take fall damage.
I guess that's how I survived. I fell so far, and I'm like, fuck, because like, I'm alone. All I have is a flashlight. I don't know how to get back up, and so I'm like going around. I'm like, oh god, where do I go? I luckily find Christian, and I'm like, where are the others? He's like, I don't know. And so it's me and Christian kind of just going through tunnels, trying to meet back up with you and Jane. And we're going along, and then all of a sudden, we just both die immediately. And I'm like, what happened? Like, did something sneak up on us? But then when we respawn up high, Christian's like yelling. He's just like, they fucking left without us. Because apparently, if you go back up in the elevator thing and there's still party members that are still just exploring, they just instantly die.
Yeah.
And Chris had the camera. And so when you left us, you not only left us, but you left the footage. So we had nothing that first day.
Yeah, the day one we were supposed to have at least, I think, 700, but we didn't hit any.
Yeah, nothing. And the thing is, we got close. We still managed to get close by the third day because we got had some good shoots.
T.2.3 or something.
Yeah,
right?
but we didn't make it because that entire first day you were so scared that you left without us.
So what I got out of this is because Dorian fell, so we lost the footage because he fell.
I wasn't the one holding the camera. That was Christian, who was nice enough to come find me.
To look for you. Me and Jane, we just went back to the ship. We're like, hell no.
Dude, and it was actually so frustrating, but also kind of cool because it lends to the immersion of the game, is when I met up with Christian, I could like barely hear you and Jane.
Yeah.
And so I'm literally calling out, I'm like, Jane, like, we're here. Like, where are you? Where are you? And you guys aren't like, I guess you couldn't hear me. And so I'm like, damn it. And like, I kept losing you.
The spatial audio is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good.
So yeah, basically, I think to close, unless did you have anything else?
Not related to the episode.
So yeah, in closing to this specific episode.
Yes.
It's like if you're like Jay here and like don't like spooky games at all, but like maybe want to just try it, dip your toe.
Try it.
This one's not too bad.
This one is totally worth trying, especially if you have people to play with.
Yes, if you have a good group of friends that like can meme hard.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a good time because it's like it's just spooky enough to give you a thrill, I think.
Yeah.
While also being hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
giving you crazy laughs.
Yes.
Like it is definitely worth that with a group.
Yes.
I think that
the more people, the funnier.
The more people, the better. I think this is the best way to play this game. And hey, if you want to solo play, go for it. I personally myself wouldn't. Yeah. I don't think I'm built like that.
Yeah, because when it's solo, you don't get the magic moments like getting Jane on camera interviewing a skull.
Yeah.
You can't get that.
Is it a skull or a spine?
It was a spine.
She's like, so how long did?
Yeah. Like, when did you first decide to become a spine?
It's so good.
It's so short and so.
It's so brilliant.
It's so good.
It was brilliant, like the comedic
things like
timing.
That, things like catching Christian getting blown up and sending flying toward the camera.
He's like, oh shit.
So good. And then there's actually another great one where it's actually, so Jane, she gets killed, drops the camera, I pick up the camera, and you're going, record it, and you get killed right in front of me, and I'm like, oh my god.
It's a great game.
It's a lot of fun. Why don't you
so let me explain outside of the episode. So let's look at it ahead and pretty much close the episode for content warning, right? So with the month of October coming, or I guess
here,
the month of October being here, my household is very big on Halloween. Every year we do a Halloween. We convert my garage into a Halloween spectacle.
It's fun.
And think of it as like I'll put like a little picture or like quick little video, but there's like fog machines, there's strobe lights, very spooky actually. Like if I saw it and I was a kid or even a teenager, I'd be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And we do that every year. So in the spirit of that same thing, we are going to be playing a lot of spooky games, even if I don't want to, for the month of October.
Yep.
So some that we have slated. So we did this episode that you're seeing, content warning. It's our first one. We have another one, which is
Dead by Daylight.
And you guys are aware. If you're not aware of it, it's like it's a fairly big fucking game.
Yeah, it's been around for a few years now. It's weird because it's developed. It's a spooky game, but it's developed almost like a kind of like an esport because it's a PvP-esque game with a lot of depth to it, and so there are like tournaments and everything for it.
I see. Okay, so we'll be doing Dead by Daylight as the other episode for the month of October, and in between those, so you might be aware that we do an episode, we do gameplay, we do an episode, we do gameplay.
Yeah.
For the month of October, we're gonna be putting some other clips involving just the scary games we play.
Yeah,
So-
we might not be talking about the game necessarily as like a full episode, but we want to capture ourselves playing some other spooky
Yeah.
stuff.
So one is Phasmophobia.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of fucking scary games. Like just
That one's actually scary.
I'm gonna
yes.
go ahead and say it. I am scared of those. And we're gonna have a couple things. We might even just do a little video of like how we do our Halloween setup, not just for games, but like in real life. Because Dorian was actually a scarer last Halloween.
Yeah.
He was part of the scare crew.
Yeah. I actually it was as a character from Dead by Daylight. So,
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like think I want y'all to think that like when I'm talking about like a haunted garage, it's like it's actually a lot bigger than like what most people would imagine. It's like, oh, like there's like some smoke machine like can there's like full on scares. Like the kids, we've had kids cry.
Yeah. We had one drop their candy.
Yeah,
and
drop
run.
their candy and run. I felt so bad that one.
You know, it's funny. I always what I notice, and not foolproof or anything, but it's so funny because a lot of the ones that like they're scared, but they get through it. Are like the little girls dressed as like princesses.
Yeah.
But then there'll be like these kids dressed as like Wolverine or whatever.
Power Rangers and shit.
Power Rangers, they're like, I'm not going in there.
Yeah. That's so accurate though.
It's so weird.
It's accurate.
It's a weird pattern, but like the little girls
The
are
smaller
just like,
you
I'm
are.
gonna do it. I
And
want
it's
that
so
candy.
funny. They're like, Daddy, you need to go
Yeah.
with me.
It probably scars them still, but like they get through it, dude.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
Yeah. So that's what we wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up for the month of October. Expect spooks, and there's gonna be a good amount of it, and that's pretty much it. Do you have anything else?
No, just I'm looking forward to this month, man. It's gonna be a fun one
Fun. Fun is subjective.
for everyone except Jay.
Yep. Not a fan. Anyways, say hi to your mom for us. Make sure you drink a lot of water.
For sure. Stay
Hydrate.
hydrated. Make
You know.
good choices.
Yep.
all
Touch
that
grass.
good stuff.
You don't even need to really. Fuck that. Just
Nah.
drink water. Say hi to your mom.
Yeah.
And that's
And,
it.
yeah.
This is a great way to end this episode.
Okay,
So
let
what
me
we
hear
do is we